Hi everyone, just want to do a quick video to show you how to put this box together. Myself and Kayla were both sick, and we had a little bit of the COVID brain, and so with the challenges of that, I could not figure out how to make a certain box. So I decided to scratch that idea, and I went over to Angie Judah's Chicken Scratch and looked up one of her cute boxes and ended up using her box, the box template number 62 for this. If you go over to her blog, she has all the information, all the measurements on there, but we will also have them posted here for you as well. And this is a really nice size box that you can put a lot of treats in it. And we are featuring the Spooky Treats October 2022 Paper Pumpkin project here. And we hope you enjoy this, and make sure you go down below and follow along on the blog hop onto the other people's beautiful treats and cards that they make. So we're gonna get started. I decided to keep this really simple because we have a big box here. I didn't want to do a big card to go with it. I thought it would be really cute too here is that if you put a little hole punch through here, that you could always hang it on here as well, to put a little note on it to give to someone. So that was my thinking on that. So basically, you're going to take a card base that measures 3 by 3 or 3 by 6, excuse me, score it at the 3-inch mark. And then it's really simple. We're going to layer these all up. The white one's going to go on the inside. And then we're just gonna glue this to the front. This little piece here was part of one of the die cuts that you had in your paper pumpkin. And I am just gonna go ahead and stamp our Happy Halloween. The ink spot that came with the kit is Orchid Oasis, and I'm just gonna use my big one. Stamp up our Halloween. So instead of stamping on the colored side, we're going to just do it on the white side. We're going to use our dimensionals. Put a few of those on. And then what I did for this is I used our friend's Breezy Bows maker, and I'm going to use our metallic ribbon, and I'm just going to make a bow, quick bow. Now you guys probably can make a beautiful bow, but I'm a little bow challenged, and so I find it really easy to use the bow maker. Turns out perfect for me every time. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors, cut that off. All right, so what I did on here is I took a glue dot, I put my little bow up in the corner here, and then I took my little greeting and put it at an angle. And I kind of poofed it up a little bit, the ribbon, so that it just added a little bit of depth on here. And then I just laid it across. All right, and then I just cut these off. I just wanted to kind of make it, give it the look of kind of like a spider web. Okay, so there we have it. Have the front, the inside, and then last but not least, we're going to add a few of the little dots, or stars, excuse me, not dots, that came with the kit. Okay, so we are done with that. Super quick and simple. Okay, now onto our box itself. So I'm going to walk you through how to cut the template, or not the template, but how to cut it. All right, so the pieces that we're using from the kit is the whole piece of this. And then we're going to use one of the circles for this, but we're going to do the stamping on the other side. So I'm going to move that over here. Okay, Now, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 7 by 10. So we're going to come in here, line that up to the 10-inch mark. And then we're going to cut this at 7. And again, this template, box template number 62 from Angie Judah. Thank you so much. She's got wonderful boxes out there. All right, so now on the 10-inch side, we're going to start scoring. We're going to score at 3.5, 4 3/4, 8 1/4, and 9 1/2. Then we're going to do on the short side, or the 7-inch side, we're going to score at 1 1/4, and 5-inch. Okay, so I'm looking at the box here. We're going to make sure we give this a good burnish on all of the score lines. You want to make sure you have really nice crisp edges when you're making 3D items. Of course, you don't want to go too hard where you can rip the paper, but you just want to give it a good burnish. Okay, so there we have it right here. Now, we're going to be cutting out, now these bigger boxes up here, this is going to be the bottom right here, where the small, they're a little bit shorter than the big pieces. Up here, these 2 big pieces right here are going to be our handles. So we're going to be cutting out, I'm just going to write on here, we're going to cut out this piece, this piece, this piece, and then we're going to cut out this little piece down here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I like to cut on the side that has the mountains from the score lines, because I like to cut those score lines right out. Cut there. Okay. This is the tricky part, trying to cut this one little one out here. Okay, got that one out. Now we're going to cut these 2 pieces off. And I like to use a bigger scissors because I can get a better straight edge. If I use our snips, I feel like I tend to get more of a crooked line. Okay, so we got that piece off, and then we're going to cut this little tiny one right here. And what I like to do is I like to miter these off just a tiny bit. Okay, so we got that done. So far, your box should look like that. We got all our X's cut. Now, this is our 2 handles. Now we're going to cut down here. This is where, whoops, I'm going to do it on the other side. Cut it straight up. I like to miter on the squares. Just a tiny, tiny bit. All right, so there we have our box all ready to be assembled. Now, what I like to use is I like to use tear tape. Put some on this tab right here. And then, since when we put this together, this piece is going to tuck in here. So this means this is going to be the front of my box. So this I want to be the last one to be taped down to just give it a nice finished edge. So I'm going to put adhesive on the back side of this. or if you want to call it the inside, which it's going to be technically kind of like the inside of the box. So I'm going to put a couple strips of tape here. Okay, perfect. Now, one thing you can do with these two pieces here is we don't have any circle dies or oval dies, but you can use any type of die. If you have particular dies that you like, I thought this would be a pretty one, the scallop contours. But for my box, what I did, you can go out and get an oval punch anywhere. I have an oval punch that has been retired for several years that Stampin' Up! Used to carry, and that is what I'm going to be using. You could also use your stitch rectangles. You could use your stylish shapes, but the one that I'm going to be using, we used to have, is the 1 3/4 by 7/8 oval punch. And this is what I use to punch out my handle. Now, for me, I'm going to do this ahead of time, and I'm just lining up the edges of the corners of the tops of the bags, and I just eyeball it. I'm just going to come in here. Sorry, I'm probably off camera here. You might have to bend that a little. And I'm just gonna eyeball it where I feel is centered. That looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna punch. Ta-da! We got our handles. Quick and easy. If you're like me, I got tons of punches laying around the house. Okay, now we're ready to put this together. Or if you want, we can go ahead and get our paper. Well, let's do it later. I'm gonna get the box made first since we're here. Okay, so we're gonna take the tear tape off. Okay. Lay that down. Fold this over. Should lay right on top of there. Okay, perfect. We're going to take the tear tape off here. Excuse me. Line that up. We have a nice box. Oh my gosh, this is such a nice box. Okay, and there we have it. So next we're going to take our, what I'm calling designer series paper. This is just part of the piece in the paper pumpkin that slides over the boxes. And we're going to do a little bit of cutting on here. So we're going to cut the long way with our trimmer. We're going to cut this to 3 1/4. By 3 inches, which it pretty much is anyhow. Okay, so we have that. Next, we're going to take this piece. We're going to cut it at 3 1/4 again. And then we're going to cut the other way at 3/4 of an inch. And what's really nice about this is that it gives the look of true designer series paper, but because the pattern is a little bit more on the busier side, you don't see where the score lines are. So that's one thing I really like about that. You can save these for other things. Okay, next we're going to add our designer series paper and put them on our black pieces. We're going to add these to the front of our box and to the side of the box. This particular one, I only did 1 of these. If you want, you could do 2 of these to put it on the front and on the back. Now we're going to come to our stamping. We're going to flip this over. We're going to be using our Orchid Oasis, and We're gonna use the stamp Enjoy This Spooky Treat. We're gonna bring in our little spider that I forgot to show you earlier. We're gonna be using one of those. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take some of this silver mesh ribbon and we're just gonna tie it together. I don't know, maybe 24 inches of ribbon. I'm just gonna tie it together here while it's on the spool. I wanted this to give the appearance of a spider web, and this ribbon actually is made for this. This used to be in one of our mini catalogs a long time ago, a couple of years back, and it was a Halloween ribbon. And I just love it. Okay, that's my beautiful ribbon. All right, so with this, on here, I'm gonna take a glue dot, just one glue dot. And I'm going to have them hang on our ribbon. And then I'm just going to take my finger and pat the back of the glue dot so it doesn't really stick to anything. Okay. I'm going to cut this off a little bit, cut that off a little bit. And now I'm going to come in and put dimensionals on the back of here. I'm going to put this right on the front, like so. And then I'm just going to mess with my ribbon a little bit to get it to where I want it to be. I kind of tuck this down over in this area. If you want to cut that down more, you certainly can. We're going to bring in our stars and place a few of those around on the front of the box as well. So there we have it, you guys. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We are here to help you, but we hope you enjoy this. Again, this was Angie Judah's box template number 62. She does have the information over on her website. Otherwise, we do have the measurements to follow with this video. So hope you enjoyed these two projects, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.